What's going on, guys? I look cold. That's because I am. It's a beautiful day outside. It's what, like 30? It's cold, but it is a beautiful day. I'm doing a tour with Geri. She has a phenomenal 170 extended van, and we're gonna check it all out right now, right?
Yes.
Here she is right here before we go any further. So she has a lot of things that she's gonna teach us and show us. Her nephew and you kind of built this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into all that right now. Here we go. I'm freezing. Hi, Geri.
Hi.
How are you?
Chilly.
It's a little warmer inside now.
It's so pretty though today, so we'll take it.
Your nephew and you built this in a very short amount of time.
81 days, the beginning of this year. We didn't know what we were doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you did, kind of.
never built a van before, so it was a lot of YouTube video, looking at pictures, a few things I'm like, oh, I would do that differently now that I know. Having lived in an RV for almost 3 years before, helped me know what I needed and what worked.
You went from RV life to now van life.
So you go from a house, right? Raise kids, and then you're an empty nester and the house seems too big, right? And you want to go wander. 31-foot RV seems small, right? When you go from a house.
Sure.
So I got a big RV with 3 queen beds in it. You cruise around, and yet I can't take that turn off because I don't know if I can turn around, because I had the 31-foot RV and I was towing a car behind it.
Class A or Class C?
It was a Class A.
So you're familiar with campsites, you're familiar with that kind of living. You're not so, I wouldn't say you're not familiar, but you know of boondocking, but you don't do it often.
No. So when I started traveling, I didn't know where in the country I would ever land if I wanted to buy a house again. I actually bought into the Thousand Trails system of campgrounds because I started seeing how expensive the nightly campground rates were, but I wasn't comfortable as a woman by myself in this huge thing going just boondocking. Thousand Trails campground membership, I bought the whole country because I didn't know I could end up in Connecticut. In van life now, that allows me to stay at this network of campgrounds for basically $50 a month.
So what are we in right now? What's the year, make, model?
It's a 2016 2500 extended, and it was a passenger van. It had 4 rows of seats. It had like the factory AC unit and the heater system and all of that.
In the front, you put 2 swivels.
Yep, 2
and
swivels.
you have a shelf overhead.
Yeah, this was the RB Components shelf that we put in. So easy to install. I did it myself. So easy. It's just really unscrewing things and screwing them back in.
I had the lower one in mind. You went with the higher version. Now,
Yeah,
you told me a reason. Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to keep these shelves.
Right.
And so with the higher version, you get those because this is where, it's easy to store your purse and all of my glasses, which is apparently a problem.
Your Christmas tree just fell.
Christmas.
Like, it has so much extra space up there, which is so nice.
I keep, my window coverings and scarves and stuff like that.
I'm going to switch spots, or I'm going to at least go to the doorway over here. Your couch setup.
Yeah, so the reason I liked it is I still want to be able to camp with people, right? And have them come on trips with me. And I do have tall sons. With the seat turning all the way around, I can take the Lagoon table mount off, and my 6'5" son has slept here comfortably.
So you just like put another cushion here or something where his legs can go?
Well, so here's the thing. One of the things I'm proud of about my build, I repurposed a lot of things. So like this was the end of this mattress when this foam pad when I bought it. So I just cut it off and had them cover it. This was the end of my bed mattress. Cut that off and had them cover it, but I also used this on the back of my bed so that my dog, who's not here because he would be barking the whole time.
Okay, well, thanks.
He did actually fall out the back one time when I had the doors open.
Really?
Yeah. This, when the doors are closed, you can still fall back into the garage underneath. Goes there beautifully and keeps him from falling. I use this, I'm going backwards to the toilet area, so I can store stuff here if needed, and it just looks a little nicer, but it's also a great backrest when we get into the bed. So this thing is used for multiple things. And
I see you have a Nature's Head.
Yes, I love it so much.
So this is funny, because it's like, everybody asks me, toilet. Obviously, you just said you love it.
It's life. I was nervous, to be perfectly honest.
Okay.
I'd never used one before I bought it and put it in and hit the road.
But it's easy.
It's so easy.
Nice.
And it doesn't smell. It's like such a weird thing. And I didn't, having been in an RV and you're dumping.
Your black tank,
That was way grosser than this.
No way. Wow.
Yes.
I am really loving this shower bar.
Yes. So this is mostly, you know, if you've got somebody in the van, you need to pee really quick, you just, you know, you've got some.
Oh, so that's not a shower.
It's not a shower,
Okay.
but this is a shower curtain, right? I pop this off, and I have an outdoor shower in the back that we'll get to when we go there. So I just take the curtain and I put it in the back, and we have an outdoor shower. And then here, I know I'm skipping around a little bit.
No, you're not. You're fine.
But
all your toiletries?
All your bathroom stuff is right there. Easy.
You have a bunch of storage. You have storage down here. I got a question for you because a lot of people may think that your electrical system is under here.
No. A girl has to have her shoes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you may be the first van lifer that has that many shoes that I've seen.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, and I had to put in better latches because we had started with the plastic ones and they would not hold. So any hard turn, whoosh, stuff's flying.
Wait a minute. If your electrical's not under here, what do you have for electrical?
I have Goal Zero Yeti 3. I started with the Goal Zero Yeti 3000 and now I have the 3000X. The 3000 couldn't handle this fridge mainly, and the fridge died. And so I worked with Goal Zero and they told me that they've upgraded their model and they swapped it out for free for me.
And that's not even the biggest model. There's also a 6000X.
I bought this in March. We're currently in December. When I went to research this problem, they now have a 6000. And it's an all-in-one, so you don't have a separate alternator. So far, so good.
You know, Goal Zero is a good one. But my point to that is instead of buying, all these components, you just went out and bought an all-in-one unit.
Yes.
And then you just wired it to that.
Yes.
Which I think is going to be the next iteration of what's going to be happening in vans.
It was very simple. I started looking at the videos for all of the different components that you would need and not really understanding the electrical. I did hire an electrician to run the initial lines.
Nice.
And my nephew and he's got some electrical experience. So he wired all the lights and all that stuff.
And we're going to go back there and we'll check it out again. If you're comfortable talking about price, I get this question a lot, is not only the price of a Goal Zero, but the price of maybe your entire build.
Yeah, this van, it was a 2016 and it had almost 100,000 miles on it. I bought it for 27,000. My nephew and I probably spent, I think the grand total is about another 25,000 on the build.
That's good.
He did, because he did a lot of the work. We subbed out a couple of tiny things, the pulling of the electrical. He had a buddy do this just because we were running short on time. We had a guy come in and spray the cabinets.
A couple things I want to touch on are the countertop, which looks phenomenal, and I know where it's from, and then also the fridge. What kind of fridge is this?
This is the Isotherm Elegance 130. So funny story is I bought a different fridge for this van, and this was at the very beginning because we wanted to buy all of the stuff so we weren't waiting for anything.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah, it wasn't a 12-volt fridge.
Oh, before the Isotherm.
Right.
Okay.
It was a blonde moment.
It was a
super
blonde
cute.
moment.
It was a super cute fridge, and then we're literally at the end.
Was it one of those vintage ones?
Yes!
Yes, I knew exactly what you're talking about. And I do love those fridges.
I know, but I was like, wait, this isn't 12-volt. And it was first wired for a 12-volt because that was our plan.
Yeah.
But I just bought the wrong fridge. And so we had the cabinets already built and in. I mean, we were ready to pop it in. The funny thing is this drawer wasn't here.
Well, now it is.
Well, it's a really important drawer.
Oh my goodness. It has everything.
The essential drawer, right? And so things are always working out for me.
Pretty much your most expensive things in here is that fridge and your toilet.
My toilet and then the Goal Zero, yeah.
And the fridge, because the fridge was also not a cheap fridge, but it's a good fridge.
It's a good fridge. And then this beautiful thing is walnut butcher block that we got from Lumber Liquidators.
I always tell people do not skim on certain things, and the countertop's one of those things that go and purchase a really nice butcher block, if you want butcher block, from a place like Lumber Liquidator. It's a 6-footer or 8-footer?
It's an 8-footer because you'll notice that part of the leftovers on my Lagoon table mount. He also cut this out, which I love because I'm all about counter space. And this is my cute little Camp Chef oven.
So you have propane?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just got a little, I'm using the small tank. We were debating on whether or not to mount a propane tank inside, and there were issues with that, and so I said, let me see how much I go through. I didn't know how much I would use.
For cooking, not that much.
No.
Right.
Right. So I just have the little 1-pound screw-in tank in the back, and then this whole thing, this is the other thing I like about this whole thing can come out. So if I want to cook outside on a picnic table, it's hot, or I'm doing something that's going to be messy, I just take the whole thing outside.
Okay, Camp Chef propane style.
Yeah.
Got it. I love it.
It's an easy bake oven for adults. That's what I call it.
If you use propane for cooking, what do you have? Do you have propane for heat?
And I just got an S-bar heater installed, I was not planning on being anywhere cold for winter when I built this. Even though it's well insulated, which I want to talk about a little bit because we did something unique on the insulation. I'm wintering here in Oregon, and this morning what it was.
I think it was reading 25.
Because I just got the new Goal Zero.
Yep.
I upgraded. We haven't yet connected it to it.
Which
so
it takes a minute. It's just one last step to have that hooked up.
Yeah.
We're good to go.
And shout out to Dave
Yeah.
Peabody at Pacific Crest.
Yeah, Pacific Crest Vans. Yeah. Thank you for shouting him out. Yeah.
No, he's got a busy schedule and he just worked me in, and
he's you know, it's not like a big thing like he's building 3 vans at once. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
And he's a one-man show.
He is. But I will talk a little bit about the insulation that we did. And this is a shout out to Suha Designs, Nick Sadolnik.
Down in California.
Yeah, he's a friend of my nephew's. He recommended this insulation called Lizard Skin, which is a ceramic spray-on insulation that you do.
Did he do it?
No.
Okay.
My nephew and I did it.
Okay. Did you wear masks?
Yes.
Okay.
He's got one of those
that
really
stuff.
good
Yeah,
masks.
that stuff is potent.
And it's thick.
Yes.
So it's sort of like spraying cement.
Yep.
And so if you're going to do it, being that this is a black van, it was really important because the metal heats up so much.
It's an amazing thermal break, which I talk a lot about on my channel, creating a thermal break with insulation.
Yeah.
Whether it's using a lizard skin, which is expensive, and it's a process to do.
It is. Well, and we didn't spray where the headliner is, right? And so I could tell the difference after we put the lizard skin on, like 20, 30 degree difference between where it was and where it wasn't. If you're going to do the lizard skin, get their sprayer. And then of course we did the Havelock wool in the
I'm so glad
walls.
you did a layered situation where you had a lizard skin plus another one.
Yeah,
because you got to do that.
Right. We did Havelock wool in the walls and above the headliner. We did the rigid foam board on the ceiling.
You did it right, yeah.
And then we just did Reflectix and then the subfloor, which I think if I had to do it over again, I would put a little bit more.
Your big old sink.
I love this sink
Your
so much.
big old sink.
This is my big old Italian sink.
Granite composite or?
Sure.
Okay. This thing it's huge.
It is huge. Having been in an RV with same size, but it was a split sink, was so annoying to me because you just didn't have room for anything. I saw this guy and I was just like, yeah, we need this.
How often do you throw stuff in there while you're driving?
Every time.
Okay.
It's never been this clean, let's be honest. Well, it's real.
It's true, yeah, no. I mean, we all do it. And
no, it's a great holding place for things.
And then you got your Berkey.
The precious.
I love my Berkey. I
had a different water filtration system in the RV, and you had to plug it in.
You obviously have it strapped in pretty well there.
Yeah. It's got a little seat belt, you know, because it is the precious, and we don't want anything to happen to it.
What's really nice about your build, right? I'm going to step back. Okay. What's really nice about your build is like you have things kind of sectioned off. You have a living quarter here.
Yeah.
You have your kitchen here. You have your bathroom there, and then you have your bedroom, which doesn't really seem like it's part of the van because it's so blocked off.
Right. Well, it's funny because I was worried about it closing in, you know, and yet I also wanted all the things that I wanted. I'm happy with this. When I traveled with somebody else, my son was here and we were on a road trip. He goes, you know, Mom, this feels separate. Like, I don't feel like I'm right on top of you, which would be weird.
It helps that you're in an extended 170.
Yeah, it really does. That you have all the space.
Oh, wow.
This is just like, I couldn't get rid of it. There are some things.
Oh, that's actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah, a Staples office supply kind of thing. Here's the other thing. This is I love the concept. But not the execution. Yeah.
Well, like maybe another shelf there?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a lot of wasted space, and then you have a lot of stuff flying around. You got a list, Tyler. Poor guy.
Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler. He's a magic man. We've called him MacGyver since he was 5.
Okay. And before we go to the back, two things. Before we go to the back, size of your bed.
It's like a full, and then we did some cutting off.
Right. It's a full plus.
It's a full minus.
It's a full minus. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you know the distance across?
You want to measure it?
I mean, you have a tape measure. I did see that.
It's like 51. I think it's this end that's a little 66, 67.
But you have the window cutouts. So.
Right. And I have a thing about my feet. If I'm sleeping on my stomach for a little bit, they have to be off the edge of the bed.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
So that's more of a custom me thing.
And the last thing before we go back outside is this guy right here. You have the Domestic Penguin.
Yes, there was a huge, gross, ugly factory AC unit on the top. I used to travel a lot to Texas, Houston specifically, which is really humid. I used my AC a lot in the RV. I don't know that I would do it again because...
Even going to Texas?
Well, my Texas son moved to Oregon,
Okay.
so I'm not going to Texas as much anymore. You could get by with the 2 max air fans because I do
cross
have a max
ventilation,
air
yep.
fan in the back.
Not even a 12-volt AC on there.
Well...
Okay. If it was in the budget.
Right.
Okay.
I can only use this when I'm plugged in to shore power,
Okay.
like in a campground.
Or you do have something in the back that you could use.
Or with my generator.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's go to the back.
Okay.
So this is the coveted trunk space, garage space, whatever you want to call it. All of your electrical here, apparently.
Yep.
Well, you walk me through this.
Okay, so...
Can I take this off?
Yeah, let's take off the backpack. But also we have these.
Oh, yeah. What are
There's
these?
3. There's those, and there's one in the front so that I can hang a hammock here to a tree.
Yeah.
No matter kind of where I'm parked. Yeah, so that's the new Yeti 3000X. And all of the ports are regulated, and the input ports charge, I'm saying like 3 times faster
Wow.
than the old model.
Right, than just a regular non-X.
Yeah, my breaker box. So now everything's set to the goal 0. If I'm in shore power, all these are flipped up. I've got the WeBoost cell phone booster, which I really like.
And we
then-
talked about this. This was just your generator for... You haven't used it yet.
No.
Yeah, so that's your generator for the oh crap moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Or I really do want to get more comfortable with boondocking and finding places where I can go. This isn't 4-wheel drive, obviously, so I have to be careful and sort of learn how to do that.
And I love your orange cone, which I just found out what it does.
Yes! So, okay, here's the difference between RV
You even
life...
wrote occupied on it?
I'm a visual person. When you're in a van in a campground, you leave.
Yes.
Especially in winter. I don't leave like chairs out, but I've had rugs out and my picnic table covered, you know, because I have a cover. I leave to go live my life and I come back at night and there's an RV in my camping spot.
Right.
Even though there's a tag on the pedestal or whatever. And so that happened 2 times.
And you paid for that spot.
I paid for that
right,
spot.
you paid for that spot.
And I'm literally kicking, like, hey, that's my picnic table cover, that's my rug, you know, they're like, oh, I'm sorry, we didn't see it. So now when I leave...
Did they not give spot numbers when you go to these campsites?
Not at Thousand Trails, you pick your own spot.
Oh.
But you put a tag on the electrical pedestal.
And they just didn't see it or whatever.
I don't know.
And so it's happened a few times.
It's happened a few times. So I was like, okay, I need a new solution. So I went to Ace Hardware, got a little cone, put occupied on it.
And obviously has worked.
It has worked, yeah. And then I thought this would be good if I'm ever on the side of the road or whatever. We've got chains, we've got the coconut fibers for the toilet. But
Got your shower hose, yeah.
Yeah, so.
You were about to show me that, that's what it was, okay.
Yeah, so this is a cute little,
This is your shower pad?
yeah.
Holy goodness.
Oh, my rock's in there. Right, so you don't want to stand in the mud when you're taking a shower. And then these are blackout curtains when you are using like your window coverings.
Yeah.
Those close. But the other value of these, they keep this from getting wet.
Oh,
when
nice.
You're taking a shower.
Yeah.
So you close those. I don't want to get my electric stuff wet. And then over here is
Oh, wow.
the shower. So you've got your handle here. So all my water is in here. This is my water fill right here.
How much water do you have?
I have a 16-gallon freshwater tank and a 10-gallon gray water tank. Got the Bosch hot water heater, which is lovely.
Geri, you walked us through everything in your van. You're fantastic, by the way. Oh my goodness, there's more.
Wait, there is more.
Okay.
To give props to Illuminess.
Oh, I apologize, because Illuminess and I are friends.
Having lived in an RV for 3 years, I would never go on the roof because that back ladder was, I mean,
janky.
Dangerous. And this thing is a beast. And then of course I had to get the surf poles because I don't surf, but I paddleboard.
Right.
So I have an inflatable paddleboard that sits here all season. They have really great locking strap. I saw today someone put their skis on these.
Yeah, you can do whatever, yeah.
It's awesome.
You can put a bunch of stuff on that.
Yeah.
Now am I good?
You're good.
Okay. Thank you so much for showing us your rig, telling us about your life. Shout out to your nephew,
Tyler. Reed, yeah.
And hopefully you enjoy your time here in Oregon. Until next time.
It's so great to meet you.
Oh, thank you, Geri. I appreciate you.
Ciao.
Later.